Do you have a deep, deep yearning to become a coach? Would you like to help people understand themselves at a deep level so that they can move into the correct career for themselves? Or maybe they want to jump into entrepreneurship. Or maybe they want to have a small business. If you have a yearning to help people in those avenues in life, I would love for you to join me. Starting October 6th, I am going to be teaching the 2 foundation classes that are required to become a BG5 business and career consultant. If becoming a consultant or a career coach is of interest to you, I'm going to drop the link below so that you can check out what all entails in the courses. But what I'm doing, it's going to be in pure manifesting generator / express builder momentum. I am a single definition, which we call independent assimilation on the business side. I move very quickly through information. So I teach people quickly. I download it for you quickly. And that's how I'm going to teach these classes. So instead of having 2 semesters, which could span anywhere from 20 to 25 weeks, we're going to do it in 11. It's going to be 2 times a week, shortened, condensed time period so that you can get the information you need. So if you're an express builder or a manifesting generator, you want to move quickly through this information, please join me. It's your in to making the best decision to become a coach, a career coach, a business consultant, so that you can move into your own satisfaction, your own success, your own peace, and your own awe. So not only is the class open to manifesting generators, express builders, anyone can come, but I just want you to understand we're moving through the information quickly. So I want you to be prepared for that and know the information before your decision-making strategy moves you towards this class. In the next 35 minutes that I'm going to share with you, I did an interview with Rob Thomas of the BG5 Business Institute, where we just kind of batted around some conversation and had a really good time. So I wanted to share it here with you as well. Again, the link is below. Please, if you want to either up-level your current coaching program or you want to become a coach, this is the place for you. Thank you, friend.
Things happen on Fridays. I'm Rob Thomas. I have a fantastic guest with me today. And for those of you that are just stumbling onto either our YouTube account or our Facebook page, or you're just finding us, right? We've just landed in your lap. Let me share with you what BG5 is. Simply put, what BG5 is, it's the human design system for career and business. So we take the human design information and we show you how to experience a better career, how to run a better business, how to be a better partner if you have a partnership structure, how to engineer organizations, and it continues to go on. There's really no limit to this information. So that's what BG5 is. I'm an enthusiast. I've been studying this since 2015. I've been in the quote experiment, meaning I put it as my practice, kind of like yoga, for that time, having a good time with it. And now now that I'm certified, I'm also consulting other people and I'm working with the Institute. I'm having a blast. So enough about me. What I want to do now is I want to put the light on and give the microphone to Leanne Wolf. She's someone that I look up to. I've done quite a bit of BG5 lives with her. I've done some studying of her and what she's doing professionally, both in the human design and BG5 world. She is very, very smart, very, very good with words, very articulate, and is masterful at being able to, I guess the easiest way for me to say it is deliver that mic drop moment right when it's needed, right on time. So without any further verbosity on my end, hello, Leanne.
Hey, Rob. Well, thank you very much for that. That's funny that you call me smart. I love it.
Yeah, you totally are. I look at you and I'm like, whoa, wow. You paid
Uh,
attention.
well, I did. That's a part of my design. So that's actually 2 words that I use a lot in my life. Pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. So yeah. So thank you
Cool.
for that. Yeah. So I'm Leanne Wolf, and I absolutely am in the exact same boat as you. I am a complete enthusiast over the human design system and BG5, the Business Institute, and the business application of this. I can't even tell you what it does to people all over the world. Like, you know this. It just allows us to align to our frequency in a whole new way.
Yep.
So.
And so for the business world, what does that mean, align to the frequency? Can you share more about that?
So, so if we look at this as a scientific aspect, right? Quantum physics, we are these very, very unique aspects that are in space-time right now. You're a unique aspect, and so am I. We are this little piece of stardust.
Yeah.
And that little piece of stardust has a vibration and a frequency to it. So when we can align to that, instead of trying to break out of it and be something else and try to be, Oprah Winfrey, when we're never going to be Oprah Winfrey, and we can be ourselves, all of a sudden the whole world opens up to us because we're vibrating with the orchestra of life instead of trying to play an instrument that isn't ours, that we don't have the talent to play. And all of a sudden the orchestration of that frequency can go out, and it's so, so, so beautiful. There's no more noise. There's no more distraction. It's just gorgeous, really, is what
Wow.
it is.
So what you're saying, Leanne, is that it is possible to have a great professional life and to be in flow. We hear this term in flow, and there's lots of different authors on this and lots of different viewpoints, but I think we all agree to, like, being in flow just means being comfortable in the seat. If to give it a car analogy, like if you're a Corvette, you don't take it off road.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I certainly want, for the benefit of those that are watching this, to learn more about how this fell into your lap. Professionally, I mean, you see this just like I do. The bookshelves are full of advice.
Yep.
And that's okay. I'm not damning it or anything. It's just, typically what I found, and perhaps I'd love your viewpoint on this as well, is that whenever I open up one of those, not self-help, but business books, motivation, how I did things, how you ought to do things, do blah, 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 those could never be correct because that's that person's viewpoint. They have a different path, a different trajectory. They're a completely different makeup. We're not all the same.
Nope.
And so I think that's been one of the largest frustrations in the business world, is that someone reads this with this high set of expectations and then they get out and they crash the Corvette. So can you share more about your viewpoint on that?
So my viewpoint is that everybody's trying to control the mind. And when you drop into human design and BG5, that's not what this is about. This is about trusting that frequency and moving from that frequency and then allowing for the mind to be our beautiful, I call it the decoder. We don't want to control the mind. We want to get the conditioned, nasty chatter that's there. We want to just say thank you very much for your time and space that you took up in my mind. Now let's just align with our perfection, and you no longer have to make decisions, mind. I'm going to relieve you of that job, and it goes, thank you, because it can't do it. So we no longer have to control the mind. What we have to do is actually take a job away from it that it was never designed to do. So when we look at the BG5 Business Institute and we look at that, that's really what we're teaching people. Stop doing a job that you're not designed to do. So when we can take the mind and allow it to do what it's here to do, decode, watch, be this brilliant, brilliant aspect of who we are, then all of a sudden we're in alignment and we can move. And it's not about controlling. It's not about controlling the mind. And probably 100 million of those books in business are about how do you control the mind and come to a place of quote unquote happiness. Well, if you look at all of Ra's material, you know, the creator of human design, this beautiful time-space aspect that channeled all this information for us, happy is written once in the Rave I Ching, and that's it. Happy is a mental state. We don't want people to be playing up in their mind. We want people to feel like in the cellular structure, satisfaction. We want them to feel in the cellular structure, success. Feel in the cellular structure that awe and surprise of, oh, this is so beautiful. And to feel in that cellular process, peace. So this has nothing to do with happiness or controlling the mind and trying to make it be happy. This is about aligning to that frequency and just releasing the mind of trying to make decisions, because it can't do that. So.
You see what I mean, folks? We're like 7 minutes into this and she's already dropping mics. This is what makes this so fun. And I know that everybody's getting a ton out of this. There's probably a lot of people that are watching this right now going, yes. So thank you for how you articulated that. It was beautifully put. And I like that you tied in the cellular aspect of this, right? Because we are a composition of cells. It's surprising to me that they don't just all fall apart, but we all have that class. I mean, there's 30 trillion cells, right? And so, that was really beautifully put. And I loved the distinction between, happy as a mental state and then the cellular state of satisfaction, peace, surprise, and wonderment.
Yeah.
So how did this fall in your lap? I mean, here we are, we're on this ball of mud. It's a big one with 8 billion other people, and it spins really fast. And thanks to the moon, we don't fall off. And with 8 other planets, we rotate around the sun while all of this travels in a straight line, almost like a cosmic zip line. And who knows how long all this has been around for. Not this human design or BG5, but all of this.
Yeah.
And this managed to fall in your lap now. So share more about that. How did that happen?
So I was in corporate Canada, and I was a manager at a financial institution. And I did that for 10 years. And can I just pop up my design here quick, Rob?
Totally. Yeah.
Let's just take a look at this. Can you see it, Rob?
There we go. Yep.
Okay. So this is my design and this is Rob's. So in my design, I have this channel of maturation. It's cycles. It's about cycles. This channel or strength of cycles. So in my 10 years that I'm at this financial institution, about 7 years in, the head office decided we were going to go to a new computer system. Our old antiquated system was like we were pieced in parts together. It was really old, like really old. And banking, of course, you want to have something that's, right on point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at that 7-year mark when they made this announcement, all of a sudden there was something inside of me. I don't know what it was. I have no idea. But I just knew I wasn't going to be there for that new computer system. I just knew it. So for 3 years, even though I managed people, lots of different locations, and I never took one training course, but my people were so highly trained. Again, you and I both have this strength of management. We're here to empower our people, to support our people to do their best. So my management team had no idea that I didn't take one course. They had no clue because my people were so well trained. But there was something inside of me that knew you're not going to this new cycle. And what happened is I actually walked away from my very lucrative job 1 month prior to what we called go live. Because my people were well trained. I had they weren't worried about it, neither was I. And I had the luxury of being able to be at home for a few months and just kind of decompress and let my body relax, because the last few months of driving into work, what was happening is I was getting this massive heat ball happen in my chest, and it would move up into my head and I would black out for like seconds. And here I am driving down the road, right? I'm going 110 kilometers an hour. And I'm like, no, I can't be doing this. Like, you can't be like blacking out. What are you doing? Like, I got to go to work, right? Not even thinking I should be healthy. No, I was thinking I got to get to work. So stop being sick, right? And all of this was happening. So again, I was able to walk away from that role, take some time, decompress. And then I was just sitting on my couch and I was like, okay, I'm ready. My physical body feels good. I feel healthy. I feel strong. So I typed into the computer, new age business, and human design came up.
Wow.
Like, how is that
That's
ever,
cool.
you know,
Wow.
like, what are the chances of that? So I kind of perused it a little bit. It wasn't the original teachings of Ra that came up to begin with, but I perused it a little bit. And at the moment, I knew there was a sense, this particular website's not for me. And I just closed it off. And no kidding, a week later, somebody's email list that I'd been following for like 5 years, all of a sudden they had human design on there again. And it came into my inbox. I was like, okay. So I clicked on it. And again, still not the correct teacher for me. So I left it. And just a few days later, all of a sudden, I don't even know where I was on the computer, but the Jovian Archive site popped up. And I'm like, oh, there it is. And poof, I moved over to the IHDS and I signed up for classes immediately.
Wow.
So I've been in this since 2012, and
Okay.
I've done like everything that I can do on the International Human Design School side. And when BG5 was launched, I jumped over there and I moved over to the business side. So yeah, that's kind of, yeah.
What a cool story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool story. So it literally found you.
It totally found me.
Yeah.
Yep. You're
Yeah,
totally right.
Your paths crossed. You couldn't have planned that on your best day, I don't think.
No. Well, I had no idea, right? Like, I had no idea about human design, right? So yeah, that was so fun. Yeah. And I had already, I was already, I don't even like to use the word spiritual, but, astrology and all that kind of stuff always resonated with me. I am a little, I kind of have some mediumship and psychic abilities as well. So all that kind of stuff was just natural for me to just let it flow through. And yeah, and I trusted, which again, I'm a 1-3 in my profile. So what I've noticed is that third line, things bump into me 3 different times.
Very cool.
So they just keep bumping in and it's like, oh, okay, there it is. I'm ready. My time space aspect is ready, or it's the correct teacher. Because sometimes it's not the correct teacher for me, right? So that's been fun to watch as well, and to witness that, because that's what this is all about, is just witnessing how all of this stuff kind of just in this soup, in this big, stardust we're all floating around, how it all just kind of bangs into us.
Yeah. What a fascinating story.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun.
So what I want to do now is give others the opportunity to hear more about what you're doing with your training. Can you share more about your practice and what really lights you up?
Yeah. So with the BG5 Business Institute, I'm actually going to do some foundational courses coming in October. But what I've done with this training and what really lights me up is the profit potential piece. So allowing people to expand their recognition of themselves through the ability to see, oh, I can make money with being me. I don't have to conform to what corporate Canada or corporate US or corporate world wants me to be. And that's the beautiful part. And, hopefully if people on here, hopefully they've done some research on the global orchestrated directory that we're moving into and the times that we're changing to. So those large institutions are really going to have to adjust to the new energy field that's dropping onto our planet in 2027, where it's all about individuality and autonomy, and being that autonomy. So that decision-making strategy is so darn important right now. And knowing how to make money as yourself and quit compromising who you are for, the people at the top of the pyramid. I want you at the top of the pyramid because you are the wealth. You are that wealth, and it's inside of you, and it's not outside of you. That's what really lights me up.
So I got lit up by what you were saying and wanted to just add a couple of things. The profit potential piece is, the timing is perfect, right? I mean, here we are, we're traversing towards 2027 in this fiery rocket. We're already seeing a ton of change in the workplace as it is. I mean, 40 million people in the United States were unemployed because of this adjustment, disease, virus, whatever you want to call it. And so they were freaked out. I'm on LinkedIn all day as a function of my career. And so I got to see how freaked out they were. Plus I'm in the staffing world. So I see all of this.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, right? You talked about one of the most fascinating things about the profit potential program that you offer, that you got certified through BG5 Institute, is teaching the person to profit as themselves. Because again, back to the bookshelves, and I'm not slamming reading books, okay? This is how you can learn, but there's millions and millions of books, and there's going to be millions more, and there's probably going to be hundreds of releases this year on how to make more money. But again, it all goes back to the decision-making strategy, the person's individual design, such as the map that's right behind you that we can all see, and the one that you showed. That for me, because again, we're talking about the business and career application of the human design system. Whenever I sit down with a leader, because I like working with leaders and I like helping them with their teams and then engineering the teams, you and I, as certified professionals, we can show someone literally via their design, via their chart, their body graph, what do you want to call it, that is their success map. That is their business plan. Right? So there's
Yep.
And, you talked about individuals kind of succumbing or compromising with whatever they're being told from the top, but also society, right? Maybe I should just be this. That way my family would be happy with me. That way society would agree with what I'm doing, right? Yeah. Those days are going away. That's exciting, right?
Yeah, exactly. I love that. Yeah, this is your business plan. Exactly, Rob. Exactly. When we look at, I guess.
That's perfect. No, you did it.
There's all that openness really is a place for me to, that's where my clients meet me. And that's where I go out to get my wisdom. But what I'm delivering to them is what's defined. So they don't want to come to me for anything but me. So why would I change that? And that's the piece where it makes me sad, because our mental state on this planet is one where I'm not good enough.
Right.
And then, scared. Yeah, totally scared. And then how can I be happy? And again, let's not try to control any of that. Let's just see the beauty that's in this frequency, and trust it and move with it and interact with the world with it, and just see how profound it really can be. Yeah.
See, guys, I told you she's good with words. I'm doing my best to give really good questions to keep her talking. That's like the hardest part of what I do, right? So
I love it.
You mentioned that you're teaching the foundation course that's coming up in October.
Yes. Yep.
So you took the foundation course, and now you're teaching it. You're going to give it to others. What will the foundation course do for someone that goes down that path?
Well, really what it does is it simplifies and it kind of, how do I want to say, it can relax your body.
Mm.
Because all of a sudden it's like, oh, I, oh, I can trust me. Oh, I am good at this and I can trust that. This is me. So for me, it was about this relaxation. All of a sudden the cellular structure could, it didn't have to hold on to any of the garbage, any of the stuff that wasn't mine. So the analogy that I use is, we all have bookshelves in our house. So walk up to that bookshelf and start cleaning it out, right? Start cleaning it out so that when you are in the foundation class, you can put the books on the shelf that will serve you, will be so good for you. You can start putting all that yummy stuff into the cellular structure and on your bookshelf that is going to benefit you. So, I also say to people, play with it. Go and clean a whole shelf off, or a table, or something, and notice how all of a sudden that space wants to be filled up. So we need to be completely conscious of how we are filling it up. And we want to fill it up with cleanliness through the decision-making strategy. We want to fill it up with the total satisfaction that I can be me. So we want to be able to fill up these places in ourselves and on our shelves and in our drawers as us instead of the conformity. And that's really what we begin to do in the foundation class, is start to clean up all that stuff that we've been holding on to that people have told us that we should be, and drop in what we are into those spaces.
Mm. Wow. So you just said something there at the very end, which I hear this word so often, and it wasn't until I really started my own path, my own experiment, using and being myself versus being other people and their concepts. The idea of should, right? Like, and I've become kind of sensitive to the word, meaning I hear it more now, I think, just because of the training that I have and the work that I do. But, and I remember going through the foundation course, experiencing everything you talked about, but mostly that I've been doing a lot of things that I should, or that others thought that I should, for a long time. And now I get to, I'll go back to the Corvette, get in the Corvette and drive it as it's supposed to be driven.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Honor the vessel.
Totally.
Like, you wouldn't be here if we didn't have this, bubble of
know.
biology, right? So we got to honor it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so that's going to be exciting to see you teach this class.
Yes.
I'm sure it will be full. There's a lot of people right now, and you already know this, but I'm sharing this really for the benefit of those that are watching. There's a lot of people that are looking for the answers to the mystery right now.
Yeah.
That's literally like, and you talked about frequency earlier. This wanting to solve the mystery, it's in the air. And it's been in the air for a while, and it's going to be in for a little bit longer. And so, if for those of you that are watching this for the first time, if you're curious at all, just continue to watch some more videos like this. We have the free library on the Institute's webpage, so you can just continue to dig, and then, you'll know when it's correct for you to jump on. For Leanne, she knows that if something shows up 3 times, it was meant to be there, right?
Yeah.
And that was similar for me, actually, by the way. I saw Human Design in 2007 while I was on a date with my wife. She had taken enough courses, I guess, with Human Design to be able to share with me my, what we were looking at in my chart. It blew me away. And it blew me away so impactfully, so pervasively, that it scared me. But not in like a freaky way, like, Friday the 13th or anything. But more of like, sometimes when the truth is standing right there in your face, it can be hard to confront. Yeah, so you resonate with that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
But it was that one thing that stuck there, literally right here. It was always on my mind. I couldn't take my mind off. I was like, golly, this is so like, and for me, I'm like you, so I'm an express builder as well.
Yep.
I'm here to work.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The things that help me work better, I really love those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to dig into it more, but the whole idea of wait to respond, that was like that cellular, like you were talking about, because
Yes.
for up until that point, I had been chasing everything my whole life, forcing the outcome, trying to make it happen, trying to influence the entire world to move around on my time frame, to make decisions that would best benefit me so that I could be happy, so that I could feel satisfied, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this wait to respond thing, it also scared me because I was making a living as a salesperson. And as in the sales world, you don't wait or you get fired.
Right.
And wait is a cuss word in America.
Yep.
Probably
for sure.
in the Canadian world too. So I was like, well, this is cool. Let's set it off to the side. But if they ever come up with a professional version of this, I'm all in.
Yep.
And then I got the email in 2015 and I was miserable. I was miserable. And so much like you knew you weren't moving on to go live and you were not going to make the bridge to this new computer system.
Yep.
For me, I knew that what I had been doing up to that point to try to change things was no longer working and that I really needed to find something that was going to work. And so this showed up and, it's been 5 years now. So now I do a lot less of what I should.
Yes. Yeah. And again, that shoulda, woulda, coulda really is mental chatter, right? And the shoulda, woulda, coulda is that conditioned mind that we've all been told needs to make decisions. But what it does is it plays both sides of the fence because it never wants to be blamed, right? The conditioning field doesn't want to be blamed for the decision. So it's like, well, you should do this. Well, what? Well, you should have done that because we could have had this if you would have done this. So the shoulda, woulda, coulda is constantly natter and chatter trying to get us to play around on both sides of the fence where it's impossible for the mental plane to do that because it's just designed to measure and decode. Well, it's going to measure whatever, on both sides of the fence continuously. Right? So, if people are on here and they can hear that shoulda, woulda, coulda, I would encourage you greatly, please look deeper into your body graph, into your career design, into your type, and begin to just experiment with that decision-making strategy, the strategy and authority in the human design language, and just start to recognize how all of a sudden we can relieve the mind, that conditioned mind, from all of that natter and chatter.
I think that this is a perfect place to end off. You just left people with some fantastic advice to follow, even if they never even jumped onto a course, right?
Yeah.
They can dig around into the Institute's information. They can dig into your information, which, by the way, let's pause there for a moment.
Sure.
So professionally, how do you want people to connect with you? Where do they go to find you?
So my own personal website is powerofself.ca. So I have lots of blog information on there. I also have a YouTube channel, so they can go in and on YouTube and just search Leanne Wolf, and you can find me through that way. And again, I am going to be teaching foundation classes at the BG5 Business Institute, so if you're here on their page, I just want to throw this in as well. I'm an express builder, just exactly like Rob, and I'm doing this as an intensive. So I'm doing semester 1 and semester 2 in the time period that it would take to get one semester done. So I'm doing...
Making that distinction. I did know that, but I forgot, and I think that that's really important because, let's just, for the benefit of the group, Leanne, when you were going through, did you want to go through faster?
Yep.
Did you?
Yep.
Yeah.
So in some semesters, I was taking 5 different classes. So I was finishing up at the International Human Design School. So I was doing my differentiation degree. I was doing family practice. I was doing the BG5 Business Institute. So in most semesters, I was doing at least 5 different classes. So I trailblazed right through it, and I drank with a fire hose, because that's really, in my design, I have 8 first lines: totally open, inspiration, totally open, conceptualization, and express builder. Like, there's more stuff coming in than I could ever process. However, that's how I have to move. So that's how I teach, and that's how I coach people, and that's how that's how I empower people. I do it. I come in and I download a lot, and then I let you absorb it, and then you got to come back. I'm not going to babysit in any way, shape, or form. I empower and I support you however I need to. So if it's 10 different emails that we got to go back and forth, I'm all good with that, because I know people's timing is not my timing. So again, I'm going to teach these classes. I'm going to download a lot of information, fairly quickly, but it'll set you up for success moving into January, so that the certification can start to begin.
What a great offer.
Yeah.
What a great offer. Well, I'm excited to see how it goes. You might just find me in your classroom going through it, because I love the idea. You and I, we love to go fast, right? We love fast things. So,
Yeah.
if we're riding in a spaceship, we wanted to go fast. And I kept talking about a Corvette, probably no accident there. So how neat, and what a special opportunity. For those of you that are listening, if you don't even know what you are, if you don't know what your career type is, you can always go to the Institute webpage. It's bg5businessinstitute.com. You can instantly find out for free what your career type is. And if you're the type of person that likes to go fast, that, you feel inside that you're here to get things done in an efficient and quick way, this structure of the foundation course that Leanne is offering could be the very offer for you. So, and there will obviously be information on all of the social media involved, to direct you there. And, for those of you that have taken the time to watch all of this and learn more about Leanne and learn more about the foundation course, learn more about the profit potential that she offers and is extremely passionate about, we're really grateful for your time, and we hope that you will continue to engage and participate and just be part of this community. So, Leanne, I want to thank you for giving me some of your time.
Thanks.
I hope I went fast enough for you. You're probably ready to stop and go do your next thing. So I'll definitely let you do that. And I hope that in the future, there will be more conversations coming forth.
For sure, Rob. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Thank you, everyone.